Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
On your mark. Get set.
The time quickly.
Jalapeno, 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 jalapeno.
Hello.
I can't hear you.
Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man running the stand, "Hey, bum bum bum, got any grapes?"
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so are we good now? Thank you, One on Lion. So when we were having issues with the turn down for what redemption last week, and I was changing things, I don't know why, but I can only assume that is what has caused the issue. I just need to make sure now that when that redemption finishes, it activates the raise volume filter and not the lower volume. So let me just check on that. Okay, well, I guess it won't be a problem until that redemption gets used. So still music in the background. Okay. So I'm guessing that the ducking is working and that the music gets quieter when I speak. It's ducking appropriately. So is the music too loud? Is that what you're saying, Berlin?
Running the stand, "Hey, bum bum bum, got any grapes?" Bum bum bum, ba-dum ba-dum. A duck walked up to a lemonade stand and he said to the man running the stand,
Okay.
"Hey, bum bum bum, got any grapes?"
Well, let's see if we can fix that. How's that? I'm going to take the silence as yes, that's much better. So if it's too quiet now and needs increasing when it's not ducking, then let me know. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, apparently just to myself, I have a little bit of the sniffles at the moment. I'm not sure if it's allergies, so I've moved down into the cave underground today. I have a cave that I can stream from, like in my nuclear bunker type thing. When the plague hits or when there's a zombie apocalypse. So we are actually back. We're not. It's not that we don't have a background. This is the background. It's the back of the cave, but it's just, you know, there's only the dim light down here from my phone and from the monitors. So yeah, I don't even have my ring light on today. So let's see what happens if that makes it better or worse. Let's give it a test. Well, press the right button and it might. Okay, it makes me a little bit more pinky, so we'll try that. Okay, so we did the Primogen thing, and we had 21 people come and join that stream and follow me, so thank you. But I don't want to overdo it. I don't want the guy to think, oh no, he's shouting me out again. Okay, so what do we do in this stream? Well, as you'll see from the highlighted object on the left, I had an idea. What I need to do is, racing around this track, I want to be fun, especially given that you only do 2 laps and only 1 lap where you're racing against another car. So I'm thinking of fun things that can make it a bit more interesting instead of just a flat track going around a few bends and a couple of straights. So we could probably do worse than to take a leaf out of games like Mario Kart, where there are objects on the track like oil slicks, things like that. So if anybody... yeah, I'm still working on that redemption, actually, One Line. That was the whole idea, or the whole reason that I got a digital assistant for my desk, so it was right close to where I stream. And I've done some preliminary testing, and it kind of sort of works, where the stream can control it. So we'll see. I'm getting there. There's also things like the LED screen, a similar type of screen to the one that Nerduino uses, where you'll be able to send messages to it, but I just need to know how best to get that displayed on screen, because I don't have a separate streaming room like Nerduino does, which means that either I need to somehow position it and suspend it like on a pole or something behind me, which doesn't seem a great solution, or maybe have it somewhere that I have a separate webcam. One of the many webcams I still haven't set up yet because I have a bit of an addiction to buying used webcams. We fly. So yeah, I've got that set up as well. So I've got a few redemptions in the pipeline and even a Pokemon game, but hopefully they'll surface in the next few weeks, or maybe if I do finally get around to having my 2-year streamiversary stream, then who knows what'll happen. And you are quite correct, One Line. I have fond memories of playing Spy Hunter, I think on the Commodore 64, maybe?
Basically, what you're trying to say is that you can't control it.
I'm not trying to say that. The whole bloody ship is.
It's the
whole
wild colour
ship.
scheme that freaks me. I mean, when you try and operate one of these weird black controls which are labelled in black on a black background, a small
Tubby.
black light lights up black to let you know you've done it. What is this? Some kind of intergalactic hyper...
Welcome in, Tubby Crumbles. Good to see you, as always. Yes, fond memories of Spy Hunter. I believe it was on C64. That lovely game where you get dropped out the back of a lorry, a truck, and then you have to race up the screen in a top-down 2D environment. I believe you're right. I believe it did have oil slicks. So I'm thinking, have some things on the road like that. And then the question becomes, are the oil slicks, if there's more than one, in the same place every race? Or do I somehow work out where the track is, or actually don't work out where the track is and then try and place one randomly? I could have a bunch of points on the track that it could put them on randomly. So I think that's probably the answer. So they're not in the same place every time. Groovy new support hero. Never actually played Overwatch or Overwatch 2, but if you're interested in the groovy new support hero, it looks like you have a limited time this weekend. That's a strong word, Balint. I mean, you know, it's a video game stream and they're news stories from a video game website, so it kind of fits the mold. What is it? Let's have a quick session. What is it you don't like about Kotaku? Or is it just Bruno Mars singing it coming onto the screen that you don't like? I know that Corn Relish doesn't like Adele. I wonder if you have the same... I don't like that it interrupts you. I mean, it rarely interrupts anything that's on screen, and maybe I had no idea it was Bruno Mars. I thought it was AI. No, it's a short clip. I thought the lyrics were quite appropriate. Looky here. Now, what do we have? So, so how about then? I was talking about this the other day. I don't know who to, probably just me myself. About things that interrupt me while I'm in the flow. Maybe I'll just ignore things because people can hear the music, people can hear Bruno, people can see it come up on screen. The only time I think I need to address it is if it's something that I think I might be interested in, or we want to do a bit of a deeper dive. And then, like I have the other show commands for the voice commands, I also have one for story that will bring it up in the browser. So we'll try that. We'll do that. We'll see if we get any more for the rest of the stream, and I will ignore them. Okay, but subconsciously or side eye look and see what it is, and then if we need to interrupt things to look at it, we will. Okay, thank you for that feedback. All right, streams I follow is still not working 100%. It's still for some reason pulling up streamers that are not streaming anymore, which I get. It happens occasionally because, you know, it might look for someone that's online and they might just have rated out, and so it might bring up their offline screen, but it seems to do it more than it just being that coincidence. So we'll see. See, look, Jess Gamer TV. That is saying that Jess Gamer TV is a mature stream. That's the mature message. And because I can't do anything about that, I need to take that out of rotation. So let's have a look. Followed channels.txt. And I'll come over to the text file and search for Jess.
Wanted, Bitly the Kid. $100,000 reward for his capture.
Save.
Hello. Oh, this is a bit different with a black background. Okay. Hello. I'm almost like a floating Barbie head. Hello, Dev is in the house. Welcome in. Okay, so let's see if we can do something about the followed stream. Ding, ding. Ooh, Nano Dev with the barracuda. Very nice. Alright, so what I was saying about the game is I want to introduce some elements that make it not just driving around the track. So I'm open to ideas, the more the merrier, and we'll start with an oil slick, which we can either find an object that we can use as an oil slick, and then what we'll do is random points around the track, we will place a placeholder, and then we will, when the race starts, we will make sure that oil slicks appear in those places randomly. So we could just have a slick on the track. I think I have barrels that I could have it where it looks like a barrel has tipped over and spilled the oil. And then once we've done that, we need to detect a collision between the car and the oil slick. And then we need to do something to the car. Make it skid.
Oh no, Bitly the Kid escaped. No reward for you this time.
Sorry, Nano Dev, you gave it your best shot, but it wasn't to be on this occasion. Boo indeed. So we're going to do a little bit on oil slicks today. Yeah, look, Nikki B Hobbying it's pulled up, and it's saying they're offline. Why? Okay. So I think in the first instance, what we can do is we're going to set up a test oil slick, and then once we've got it all working correctly, we can just swish out the placeholder object. So if we just start with a black circle and then take it from there. Before we get onto the game dev, show browser. Just a couple of Unity points. Well, 3 points altogether, but we'll start with the current flash sale, which is going on. So for Unity devs, it is a flash sale currently for a couple of weeks on the Unity Asset Store.
Sing Baby
boy.
Shark.
That must be Dukasoft. Baby shark, doo 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 doo. Baby shark, doo 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 doo. Baby shark. Welcome in, Dukasoft. Hope you're doing well. And Dukasoft forever has that clip now of me singing Baby Shark as Bitly the Kid. So if you want to look through the clips, you'll be able to find that from last stream, was it? Maybe the stream before. Anyway, here is the link to the flash deal. Best clip. These are the sale items. There's about 25, and I say about because there was 26 on the first day. About 25 items each day that, I need to refresh this. They each day go 60% off, so save up to 60% for a limited time. And so far I've bought one that was $10 usually and was $4, which helps us place colliders. So we might well use that for placing colliders around the track, because in the last stream we said, you know, at the moment, to keep coining the skiing term, you can go off-piste and you can pretty much drive anywhere on the scene that we have. So we need to lock that down a bit. That's not to say we can't have areas where the car can go through as a shortcut. And obviously, if he uses it on the first lap, then on the second lap, the ghost car will also use it. TD, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Nice to see you. Hope your day is going well so far. Well, I say so far. It's like 20 past 4 in the afternoon for you. So, yeah, heading into the evening slowly but surely. Okay, so...
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay, 60% off assets, 25 go free each day at, I think, 9 a.m. Central Time. So today we have Fantasy Weapon Pack 3, Gruesome Zombies, Medieval Village. So we've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24. And if we go to the next page, 25. Okay, so it's 25 at 60%. And then when they've had 24 hours of being at 60%, they drop to 50%. So the ones you see here are ones that have been on previous days. And here's the one I bought, Easy Wall Collider. So we'll be getting that. If I haven't already imported it, we'll be getting that into Unity so we can lock down the track. So if you have a quick look at it, it lets you place wall colliders easily, and then it uses, it creates a new type of collider called a polygon collider, and then it uses sphere colliders and box colliders, I believe, to construct the wall that you build. So it should speed up things somewhat. Did that Discord thing post okay? Oh, that's a very good question. So TD has an extension that he's worked on that should post a message to Discord when I go live. I already have something posting to Discord, but, you know, being the good person I am, I said I would test it. So what I need to do now is jump over to my other browser, open Discord. Red knobbed starfish. Okay. All right, so on Discord, look in my test channel, and yeah, it's I'll send you the screenshot on DM. So it looks like the only thing that didn't work. I don't really get why it looks like there should be a variable after hey in the message. It says, hey, something, I've just gone live streaming. I don't know who the something is supposed to be if it's an automated message. But also, the screenshot is the screenshot from just now, which is odd. Because it posted it apparently half an hour ago. Maybe we've had 2 red knobbed starfish today. Never mind. Okay, so let me send this over to TD real quick so we can have a look. Okay. Knobbed indeed. Okay, so yeah, this was the Easy Wall Collider that I bought yesterday when it was on 60% off. It's now on 50% off, so a little bit more expensive, but still a good deal at $5 if you ask me.
What do you call a boy who stopped digging holes, Douglas?
Oh my goodness, Douglas. Anyway, that was the flash sale. It runs for a couple of weeks, 60% off for the first 24 hours. Next is the regular weekly publisher sale, where you get 100% off of one asset. Here is the publisher sale link. I assume, hope you still have the pinged rolling a post message setting. Aha. Yes. So that would do that then. So if I go back into the settings and I remove pinged roll, it will just say, hey, I'm assuming, and it won't have those random characters there. So yes, if that's the issue, then it worked. Okay, so this week's manufacturer. Oh my goodness, I really do need more coffee. Or more sleep, or both. This week's publisher of the week is Nature Manufacture, who is very well known on the Asset Store. And the free gift is Ice World. Yes, I do want coffee. I do need coffee. You are welcome, TD. Anything else you want me to test? You know where to find me. Start getting some SOs going, shall we? So Science Streams, aka Belint, is first in today.
Hey, chat.
There he is.
Corn Relish.
How's Corn Relish?
Welcome in, you guys. Yes, Queen Relish indeed, KK. KK, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Shauno, how are you doing?
Song tomorrow, man.
It's going all right.
Yes,
Thank
Val,
you so far.
You for the bow. Yo, we are at.
Dude, right in the...
Look, there's an elephant that you can look out of its rear end, because
we're at an elephant.
Tail seems like it might be a little bit obstructive to the view.
There's a door in the...
Maybe that's like when you go to the theatre and they say there's a restricted view seat. Maybe that's what it is. Shauno, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. How's your day going today? Hopefully good. We had a little audio issue as soon as we started, but we got that resolved. So hopefully that's all the issues we're going to see today. I do have a bit of the sniffles and coughs, but we're going to say it's allergies. And that's why I'm in my cave today. So that's why I have no background on. Just watching Nutty Stream. He really doesn't like analog watches. Hey, and look, there's Nutty Stream at the top. Live as we speak. So, he really doesn't like analog watches. I do like analog watches. Actually, it's one of my personal interests. I don't buy a lot because, you know, there's only really so many wrists that I have. And I do like wearing them. But, yeah, I like watches. So I guess me and Nutty definitely don't have that in common. But Nutty does offer a lot of good streaming content, whether it's OBS or whether it's StreamerBot, something to do with streaming. So drop him a follow, maybe follow his YouTube channel. He has quite an active Discord server. I'm a collector of watches. He thought you have to wind them all up. Or maybe just has very little, because of his dislike for analog watches, maybe that's why he thinks you have to wind them all up, because he doesn't really have any interest. The StreamerBot go-to guy. Yes, but you know also who we have in here, who's also a StreamerBot go-to guy, is the amazing Terrier Darts, the newest member of the StreamUp team. There he is, look, working in StreamerBot in the clip. Working on a execute code sub action by the look of it. Oh, thank you for that follow, appreciate that. Heading ever nearer to my follower goal. 742, we're getting there. Ashley!
Right, so we do add points. And
how the devil are you, Ashley?
Doesn't matter where they come from. If they're first, they're first. Doesn't matter on
Oh, he
Twitch,
talks
on
as
YouTube.
well. Who knew? Right before the end of his clip. How's your day going, Ashley? Is it a good Friday for you so far? Not sure which time zone you're in, so hopefully you're closer to the weekend than I am, because it's only heading towards 10:30 a.m. here, Central Time. Okay, so the Unity Asset Store, Publisher of the Week, every Thursday. This week is Nature Manufacture, one of the most well-known developers on the Asset Store, and he's giving away this shader asset called Ice World, and it's for free. Anybody who's seen Bedtime Stories, the film, will get that reference. You just use this code, Nature Manufacture 2024, when you check out, and it's yours. As it will show here, look, I purchased this item yesterday. That was when the publisher sale started. So, look, regular $20. It's on sale for $10 currently, but it's yours for free if you can use that code at checkout before next Thursday. Look at that. Gorgeous ice materials. Very nice. Yes, he is a UK guy, Shauno. Per his own admission in his About panel, he is a Moni Yorkshireman. So comes from the county of Yorkshire in England. Happy Friday. It's very early in the morning here, just getting started. Well, I'm glad that you can wake up with us, Ashley. Hopefully it's a good start to your day. We already got, hopefully, all the technical issues out of the way for this stream. So,
once upon a time, StreamerBot decided to take a shortcut and ended up going down the drain. Let's just say it wasn't streaming any good content down there.
Thank you, Dukasoft. You two live in Yorkshire. Oh my goodness, sure now. I'm going to have to crack my joke. I always do. Living in Yorkshire? What a shambles. TD, we've got your neighbour here, Shauno 4D. Lives next door to you. So if you need some sugar, just walk across, knock on the door. Shauno said he can lend you a cup. There you go. See, that's what it's all about. Connecting people. Community. Bringing people together. Oh boy, I find a wild bit gamey. Shiny version 2. Hello, Dr. Captain Sir. We're actually down in the cave today in my underground nuclear bunker, which is why there's no background, because I'm sniffling a bit. I have some allergies, so we're trying to keep away from all the trees and stuff. So I'm down in my man cave with no lights. It's very dark. I just have the light from the monitor and my ring light. So yeah, I don't want to give location away for him. No, let's not have any doxing. But does he live in the east next to beach? Well, TD, I mean, TD doesn't care. He'll tell you which town he lives in. He really did. The other day he was like, oh yeah, I live in such and such. And I'm like, Doxville, stop, no. So I remember where he said, but I also don't want to give anything away. So, yeah. Yes, Sure, no. Exactly. So, yeah, fancy that. Neighbours in my stream. I think that's a first. I mean, there are some people here that I wish I was neighbours with. But yes, nobody wants to live in Texas, so it's just me. Costa del Brit. There you go. Small world indeed. A stream first. You heard it here. Thank you for that pin, Digsoft. Alrighty. So, we have the flash sale on the store. We've got the publisher sale on the store. And last but not least, we had an announcement from Cinti Store, or Cinti Studios. It's their 10th birthday celebrations. It's been a decade since Cinti launched, and their very first Cinti pack is Simple Town, or was Simple Town. How far they've come since their Simple range. They must be making bazillions now. I think last time I saw they had like, was it 44 people? They've got a lot more people than you think, Cinti Studios. And look, this is the kind of art style that they have, where it's a low poly look. So they're doing an image jam as the first thing. And if you go onto their Discord, you can see what the theme is for the image jam. It's not a game jam, not to be confused with creating a whole game. It's creating an image, just using a 2D image, just using their assets. And I think the theme, if I remember when I saw it on Discord, was something to do with a portal. Portal in time or something like that. Pop onto my stream for a sec, you'll recognise me. Oh, are you streaming right now? Shauno, or are you talking about VODs? Let's have a look. Let's see if Shauno's actually streaming right now. No. Hang on. No, check out this stream from 2 days ago. Okay. What we can do, let's do an SO for Shauno, and then we'll get a clip, and then that will save TD the trouble. SO.
Oh, I give up. God, just send me out of here.
Why is there a clip?
All right, yeah, I guess I
being
got no
offline.
choice.
How does that work? What?
Fuck off! You guys' timing is unbelievable today.
I know. Oh, just the background. Ignore me.
We got him, boys. Fuck!
Oh, well, let's have another one.
Leave me alone. Oh, definitely not in this place. Don't.
Offline is the browser. Yes, thank you, Berlin. Eventually, coffee kicked in, and I realised.
Oh, yeah. We're not just do a spring. We'll do a red spring.
Is this the same clip again? Because it pulls a clip from the last 7 days. So if there's only been one clip, it'll keep grabbing the same one.
Thank you. I guess that kind of helps.
Me and Berlin had the same idea. Both doing the SO. Double shout out. I do software and development, but crowd control Fridays so everyone can input stuff into my games. Yeah, I hear that crowd control is fun when you're playing games and get viewer engagement. I get a lot of clips, mobile users. There should be quite a few. Okay, nice. So drop old Shauno 4D a follow, and you two can have some fun, especially on Fridays with crowd control. I need to just have a day where I say, okay, streams I follow, I'm going to fix it, whether it's on stream or not. Hey, double the fun, right, Shauno? Alrighty, so yeah, they're having an image jam. I think it's called Portal in Time, something like that. If you jump on their Discord, it'll tell you the...
You interfere with my mission!
Oh no, bye troll. Sorry, you're not welcome here. So, yeah, they're starting off with the image jam. This is New Zealand time, so it's already, well, it started yesterday for me, even though yesterday for me was the 18th because of the time difference. So 10 days from there, July the 19th to the 28th. And then after that, I've got 10 days of deals where they're going to give 70% off a different pack each day. And these are the packs. If I'm not mistaken, these are probably their most expensive packs, which can be hundreds of dollars. So maybe keep an eye on those. Deals will unlock one per day from July the 23rd. And then 10 days of community giveaways. Don't miss your chance to enter, to win, join a community. So yeah, pretty much it's all kicking off on Discord. So if you're not already on their Discord server, Dukesoft. You think you're funny, don't you, Dukesoft? You think you're funny because I'll start off with this nice, lightweight Pokemon cap that, you know, since it's so hot in Texas, it's nice to wear. And then you go and pick the heaviest, most uncomfortable hat that I've ever had the misfortune to own. Yes, we're all thanking you, Duca, right now, especially me. So, yeah, this is the point where I have to do the magic change. So, as if by magic, not the shopkeeper appears, for those who remember Mr. Ben, the children's program, but I have to press my magic button here and see what happens so I can hat change. Yeah, it doesn't show up so well, does it, when we have no background? There we go. If I just don't move my head, if I just stay permanently like... No, can't even do that. Okay, so the moose is in place. That is a lie. No, it's not a lie. It's just that Moose is a bit shy today, so... Yeah, so he's
Wanted,
not as visible
Bitly the
as he would be
Kid.
normally.
$100,000 reward for his capture.
Okay, back to baby. So, Cynthia has birthday party live stream after all their days of giveaways and jams. Giveaways and jams and live streams and all the good stuff. Okay. So of course, now I need to switch back to Unity. I can't, because I have a baby voice. What is going on? Okay, here we are.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Thank you, Belen.
Where are you going? Come back. Come back. There's no gap in the trees right now. Shit.
Okay, so this
It's not
is
gonna
an
like...
IRL stream.
There it is. Do you see it? It's flying right through the trees right there. That's an eagle. That's an eagle.
Yoga was not being chased by an ex-murderer or
No, this looks like a
Ghostface.
plane flying away.
He was trying to catch a bird, but the trees got in the way. But we did see it. Welcome in.
Come back,
Yoga.
Eagle.
Good to see you. Let me do what I have to do.
Big hug.
Big hug. How's your day going, Yoga? Hopefully you're not having to work too hard. Okay. Welcome in. Let's keep the shout out. We got the little flickering.
Oh no, Bitly the Kid escaped. No reward for you this time.
Sorry about that, Dukesoft. No money for you today. We've had so many near sightings of eagles. I will get one on stream eventually. I saw it. I mean, it wasn't close, but I saw it. I definitely saw it. Yeah. So, good job with that. Was that a recent clip? I know you're doing more of the IRL streams lately.
Hello.
Just wonder how soon that one got picked up. I think that was in the spring. Oh, okay. Yeah, because if it can't grab a recent clip in the last week, it grabs any clip. So there's no telling. We might even have seen Yogurt Garrel when she was dressed as a mermaid. So if you want to look back through the clips and or VODs, you might find those strims. A scooter, a Duca scooter. All right, so now the voice commands will work again. Show Unity. All right, so we're working on fun things to add on the track today that can make it more challenging to get around easily. So we're going to start with an oil slick. Yes, the fish game, no less. We have it on this screen or scene. And
Hide Unity, now do it now.
We also have it on the BRB screen. And, you know, while Balint is waiting for me to go live, he gets a bit bored on the starting soon screen. So I think what we're going to do, I think I might add it to the starting soon screen. And I don't really like those quotes there anymore. So we might remove the quotes as well. So let me start my fix list for today. Remove starting quotes, and then we need add fish visuals to starting. Okay. Shoe fly.
Alexa set alarm for 3:30 a.m. for 1 week.
No, maybe don't. I already have her doing that every week.
Once upon a time, a streamer bot kidnapped your baby. You heroically confronted the bot, who then realized the absurdity and returned your baby. The end.
Balint. Short story, fun times. Okay, so we're going to be putting in a oil slick. That's the first thing on the list for today. So in order that we can test it, we are going to put it pretty much not too far from the player. So as soon as it starts, we can check it's doing what it needs to do. So we've created a parent object. Why is the music quiet? Oh yeah, I forgot. I was bullied into turning the music down. So let me know if it's not loud enough. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to create a 3D object. We're going to call it a capsule. And that's going to be the test oil slick. Now, if we take the player and the position of the player, copy position, and then we go to the oil slick and we paste position. Okay, so now we've got it near the player. So we can zoom it up here.
Once upon a time, a Dukasov started streaming. Oh wait, it was just a tease.
Ah, if only we had a command for that. Oh wait. Yep, just saying. Blah 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 blah. All right, well, I need to BRB in a little while, run a quick errand, but I will be back. But for now, let's see what we can do with this oil slick. Is a capsule the best thing to use? No, probably not.
Once upon a time, Dukasoft was confronted by the most evil bot named StreamerBot. It tried to keep Dukasoft from streaming, but in the end, Dukasoft called on Sammy and destroyed the bot.
Cylinder, that was what I needed, not capsule. Because what we can do is we can shrink down the cylinder on the Y scale. We shrink it down to, say, 0.5. It needs to be high enough, or at least the collider needs to be high enough off the track so that when the player drives through it, it makes the collision. Berlin, we talked about this. You said, not only have I got to turn the music down, but you also said, ignore the story. So I ignore the story, and you're still booing. I can't win. I can't win today. Just nothing I do today is going to be right. So I guess that's just something I'm going to have to live with, being a constant disappointment to Berlin. So, all right. So to start with, it was a distraction for me, and now it's that you can see the story, so you're getting angry. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, last thing I want is you getting angry, good sir. So I'll give it some consideration. In fact, for now, just to appease you and relieve your frustration, I'm going to disable it. Okay? Okay. Moving on. Oil slick. So, do we even have a material yet that we can put on it that's a black material? Let's have a look. Or as Tubby Crumble's audio clip says, black on a black background. Yes, we have black. Okay, so we take the cylinder, which is our test oil slick, and we can drag the black onto it. Doesn't really show up that well on a dark track. So how about for now we say a red oil slick, because yeah, what we could do is, if we need to, if we have it black and it's on a dark track and you can't really see it, then on one side of the coin that could be a good thing because you won't see it until the last minute. But on the other side, if you don't see it at all and you just drive through it, it's going to get annoying to players. So we'll see. We might have like an outline around it or something to make it a bit more obvious. Depends how big it is on the track. If it's a tiny one, then maybe we'll just enjoy the fact that you can't really see it until you get close. But if it takes up a lot of the track and the player has to swerve around it, then we might go the outline route or make it a slightly different color. Okay, so we'll move this up here a little bit. I think it's probably floating right now. Yes, we have a floating oil slick, so we'll bring it down to the track. Maybe minus 1.75. Nope, still not quite on the track. Minus 1.9 maybe. And then we can't see it because it's not high enough, so let's bring it up to there. Nerdwino's in the house.
You got the good taste.
19 months. Nerdwino. Thank you so much. And look, there is
so I don't know if you've seen this. Asher,
handsome
this
former NASA scientist. Has all things spacey on his stream. He covers rocket launches, he has space photo of the day, he even has bees in his back garden. So yeah, if you want to check Nerdwino out and his bees, who were a bit naughty this week, they actually stung him. But yeah, you don't get to see him being stung. I'm not sure that's content that people want to see, but you can see his bees in action on the outside of his hives. I know, right? Bees! Let's have a look. Can I get to... I should be able to get to your remotes from here, shouldn't I? There we go. There's the nerd bee in the drop game. And look, didn't do the wall slide. Look at that. Let's have a look. Is the bee going to be successful and land slap bang ding dong in the middle of the cloud? No. Didn't even touch the cloud. Nerd bee, courtesy of the Amazing Science Streams. The Berlin, who's a little bit grumpy today. Things are making him a bit annoyed. So we're just wearing kid gloves. We're just treading on eggshells a bit, and we're not We're not speaking too loudly because we don't want to offend. So welcome in, Arduino. Good to see you. I don't want this to turn into a ASMR stream, but it's all about keeping Berlin happy. Keeps playing Canu Betu. Is that how you pronounce it, Berlin? I pronounce it Can You Beat You, but yes, Canu Betu is how Berlin likes to pronounce it. So that's how I'm going to pronounce it because we don't want to upset him. Of course, he's talking about the Kotaku stories that come up, but they're not coming up anymore today because we don't want to upset him, so I've disabled it. So, see? Easy fix.
According to Kotaku.com, Ubisoft wants you to be comfortable not owning your games.
Really? Thank you, Hugin, but that's just going to annoy Berlin because he doesn't like Kotaku. So we've disabled it for today's stream. So maybe moving on. Okay, so we're going to do an SO for somebody who's on the streams I follow at the top, and it's the amazing, it's Jimmy B93. Let's get a little clip-a-rooney. There he is.
Wanted, Bitly the Kid. $100,000 reward for his capture. Vigeni is so amazing and he's the best father, friend, husband, and son in the world. He's basically a superhero with a knack for being awesome at everything.
Well, thank you, Jesse and Blint, but that's exactly why I created this command. Wow. Okay. So, it's Jimmy B93. Arduino bringing all the hype. So, it's Jimmy B93. Drop him a follow. He was here a couple of streams back with his better half, Music Girl, and he gave Music Girl a gift subscription. Isn't he a little sweetie? And they'll be getting married soon at a zoo. Married at a zoo. I'm just waiting for my invitation in the mail. Okay. Weirdly, that really slows down my stream for some reason. We do have a cooldown on the hype now, thanks to people that will remain unnamed, Arduino. So, yeah, do need to wait a little bit. Ooh. Okay, so this red oil slick.
Oh no, Bitly the Kid escaped. No reward for you this time.
Sorry, Arduino. No Casharoonie today. So Arduino knows everything there is to know about space and stuff. So if we're having this as a red oil slick, at least for testing, is that what you would see on Mars, Arduino? Because, you know, Mars being the red planet, or would there not even be an oil slick on Mars because, you know, there's no cars driving around, there's no 1990 Nissans driving around on Mars, so there won't be any oil leaks. Message deleted by StreamVODs. What are you doing, Berlin? Okay, so with this red Mars planet oil slick, we're going to make it a little bit larger than that, so we can see it. So we'll increase the scale on all axes. Actually, no, not all axes, because we don't want it to be any bigger on the Y. Never mind. So we'll just make it 2 and 2. There we go. It should be enough to detect the collision, I think. Let's go a bit more. Let's go 4. Let's go 5, 5 and 3. Let's try that. 100% there'll be oil slicks on Mars, but they will be blue. Oh, really? Look, we don't have a blue material, but just because you said that, even though this is not on Mars, I'm going to create a blue. So create material, change the color to blue. Okay, instead of new material, we're going to call it blue, funnily enough. And then we're going to make it a blue oil slick. There we go. Now we're really on Mars. 100% true for reasons that are too complicated to explain. Okay, well, too complicated to explain in a chat window, but I'm sure if I remind you next stream, you'll be able to explain, or I could use the Googles. Although I'm not sure that even Google will come up with what color are oil slicks on Mars. Okay, so we have cylinder, which we're using as an oil slick. We need to make sure it has a collider, which it does. It has a capsule collider, so we should be able to detect a collision with it. And on the player, we have a rigid body and a collider and a script, so we can detect it in the player controller script. So I'll open up the code. And what we'll do, so that we can identify the oil slick, is, in fact, for now, we'll get rid of that says oil slick. We'll rename the cylinder to oil slick oil. And then we will also add a tag. We'll just have the tag to be oil. All right, and then when we show code, what we can do in here, we're already detecting things, so not collision 2D, we don't want those anymore. Why were we doing a collision 2D? That's when we were doing the UI, wasn't it? Yeah, we don't need those anymore. We're using the UI collision detection for the speedometer. We changed how we were doing that, so we don't need those. We've got on trigger, enter. Yeah, it just needs to be a trigger. We don't need to actually have a physical collision with it, so we can use the trigger. So we can also use this switch statement. We can say case oil is a tag that we but it's not using, it's using the name. Okay, so let's go with the name oil slick. Thank you for my drinks. Thank you for bringing my drinks down to the cave, Mrs. Gamey. You should be sitting down and resting though. Okay, so we have oil slick. I'll remove the tag in Unity that we just created. And then oil slick is the name. Well, the thing is, Ashley, he did a test yesterday and found out that once again, as an occupational hazard, because she works with kids, she has COVID. So she's off work sick today because she tested positive yesterday, and she should be resting because she's been feeling pretty awful for the last week. So yeah, she needs to be sitting down and resting, not bringing me cups of tea and cold drinks, as welcome as they are. All right, let's put the cup of tea over here, and Malin will be happy to learn that it's a science cup of tea, or mug of tea, if you will. Of course, my usual streamer sticker big cup with the flavoured water. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, she's hopefully in the tail end of it now, even though she's still getting symptoms. So, yes, I wish her well soon. So in the code, we're going to check for the name of the object being oil slick. And then just as a test, you can print out to the console oil, so that we know where we got to. And then if it does detect that condition, then it breaks out so it doesn't check any of the others. We save that, and also it needs to be a trigger. So if we show Unity, okay, so we need to come down here to the collider and say it's a trigger. It calls the right method. And now all that's left to do is to drive through it and see if we get something in the console that says oil. Okay, so we'll pause it. We drove through the oil, and then we have the message in the console that says oil. So it did detect collision. Okay, so now the fun thing to do is, what do we do with that information once we have it? Teaching in Texas, she's saying, yes, she has the place she works at, without doxing, has a preschool program. It has an after school program, and there can be anything up to 50 and soon to be probably 75 children at one time. Not with one staff member, but yeah. I mean, I would extend that to say teaching anywhere. You have to be a saint these days, because it doesn't seem like it's an enviable job, to say the least. Bink. What's Bink, one line? Okay, so we can detect when we hit the oil. Now we need to decide what we're going to do. Is it just going to... But let's have a quick poll, because I'm torn. And the question is, what effect does an oil slick have? Slows car, skids car. What else can we have when you hit an oil slick? Spins car. Okay, and let's run it for 2 minutes. Okay, poll is up. If it gets no votes whatsoever, then we'll do some testing and see what's best. Okay, so let's have a, while we're waiting for the poll, let's have a look at this slick. I'm still not sure that's as big as I want it to be. Let's make it 6. It needs to take up half the track at least, so you have to swerve around it. So maybe 7. Yeah, I think that'll do for a test puddle. Wobble car. How would that look? Just like shake it a little? It should transport your car to Mars. I mean, maybe that can be Nerduino DLC, where it has something spacey. Maybe it's like in the cartoons where they throw a black circle on the wall and then the car can drive through it. Maybe the car will go over thinking it's oil, spill and then just drop down through the track to a secret hidden track underneath. Maybe we need to start taking more direction from cartoons. Possibly, potentially. Okay, so poll is almost finished. We may have a clear winner. Wallaber is in the house. The absolute legend that is Wallaber has graced us with his presence. That's a genuine jaw drop, because the man has probably forgotten more about game dev, assuming he ever forgets anything, than I know. So, welcome in, Wallaber. Let's do an SO. Let's see. We might even see Wallaber working on his racing game. Let's have a look.
The cool opening is kind of interesting and awesome.
This is not a game.
Yeah, they got a cool ramp going to it, you know, like
military vehicles driving onto a ship. What is this, Wallaber? Look at the bottom, it says working on, time to start the final track. There's a little hint there for the new track. Oh really, that was like research. Well, do I have a Wallaber command? I feel like I do. Yes, there it is. Okay. If you remember where's my water or jelly car, then you're already familiar with Wallaber. So when I created this command, he recently released Pro Gymnast, but since Pro Gymnast, he has released games like Very Very Valet, I believe it was called. Yep, there you go. It's right down there. Currently working on, but is actually now finished. So I'm going to have to add to my fix list off stream. Update Wallaber command. Because if I'm not mistaken, Wallaber, the racing game that you're working on, did it start as a jam game? I feel like it may have, and then you fleshed it out and you created it in Godot, and it has like PS2, PS3, PS2 I think, visuals. And this project I'm working on has similarities. Ledum Dare Limited Space. I thought as much. What reminded me of this project was when I was watching one of Wallaber's streams and he did something with a ghost car, and that's pretty much the basis for this project. Now, nobody's going to believe me, but I started this project before I saw Wallaber's ghost car, and I thought, oh, look, ghost car in your game too. Oh, it's a coffee, not a tea. Very nice. Okay, so yes, if you're not already following Wallaber, we can still be friends because it's an easy fix. You just click the heart at the top of chat, drop him a follow, and you will learn probably more about game dev in one stream than you already know. And I don't even know, you might know a whole lot about game development, but it's a fun stream, always has some great content, and Wallaber is always open to questions and helping the community. So get yourself over there. Absolute legend. One of the streams, sadly one of the streams that sometimes streams at a time which is not convenient for me. I'm either just going to bed or I'm not home, but I definitely catch his streams when I can. Leaving you with a alert. Off to go pick up Mini Nerd. Have a go. Thank you, Nerdwino. Say hi to Mini from me. I'll catch up with you later, possibly, potentially, and enjoy the lurk. Okay, so the whole idea behind this game, for those that haven't seen it before, is you start off driving one lap, and for the first level it is going to be a racing car, but we talked about further levels being things like horse racing, ice skating, skateboarding, a 1950s cityscape where you're driving around in 1950s vehicles. Each level is going to be something different, but the core is going to be the same, where you have to race the first lap and it'll record your movements. And then the second lap, the ghost player, shall we say, because it won't always be a car, the ghost player appears and does the same lap that you just did, or you do another lap and try and beat it. So you're trying to race against yourself, hence the title, Can You Beat You? So that's why it's a 2-player game, 1 player. And I had seen ghost cars before I started working on this in other games, but they weren't usually, unless somebody wants to crush my dream and tell me they have seen it somewhere else, they're not usually vehicles that you can race against. A lot of times they're used for replays to show you how you raced rather than you competing directly against them. So that's that. And for right now, we're working on an oil slick. Thank you for pinning your comment, Berlin. Maybe I should unpin that comment and pin the no you that I sent afterwards. APOC is also in the house. APOC snuck in with a journey mode, thinking I wouldn't see them, but how's your day going, APOC? APOC? Is it APOC? APOC? I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but anyway, good to see you. Okay, so we had a poll, and I don't do polls very often, and I'm not sure if you can even get to the poll results outside of the dashboard. Can you? Do I have to go into my dashboard now, my Twitch dashboard, to find out what the results were? Because that seems very convoluted. It's pronounced a handsome and loud too. Jar. If we get a wellness check on 1-1 Lion, please. Just make sure that he's okay. I don't know if he has taken his usual medication this morning, but it seems like he may need some adult assistance. Thank you. Okay. So what I'm going to put on my list, if I have to go to create a dashboard to look at the results of a poll, that is a bit ridiculous. So how does Twitch work? You hold a poll, people vote, poll closes, and then when the poll closes, you have no access from the stream itself to the results. Why does it not just send them to chat? Maybe that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? All right, well, ads will start in 3 minutes, so probably not too far from a minute or two from the ad starting. So I'm going to have a quick look, see if I can track down poll results. Manage poll. Here we go. View results. All right, we have a winner. Close that. Back to the stream. Just need more water. I had a frappuccino, which is about triple the amount of caffeine I normally have in the morning, and I have a sensation of a panic attack with nothing to have anxiety. That sounds terrible. Maybe if caffeine has that effect on you, 1-1 Lion, don't have so much of it, maybe? Just a little friendly advice from your local bit gaming. Also, where do you get frappuccinos from? Because I've tried a frappuccino from Starbucks. I don't often go to Starbucks because it's just overpriced. But also, if you go to McDonald's and get one of their frappes, or frap as they pronounce it, they're actually not terrible. They are cheaper than Starbucks, and they do taste a little bit more synthetic, but they're not too bad. Very good, like this coffee. I'll cut back a turn. The bottled Starbucks Frappuccino. So, okay. Well, you know where I normally get those from is when I used to go Sam's Club. And then you have to buy like a pallet load at a time, like a huge case. But yeah, I used to get the Starbucks Mocha Frappuccinos, I believe, from there. Not that I'm trying to give you a cheaper way to feed that obsession, especially if you're trying to cut back. But yeah. Anyway, so Let's have a look. Science streams contributed 400 channel points. So Berlin was very sure about which option he wanted to win. And 83% was Skid's car. 17% was Spin's car. Nobody wanted it to just slow the car down. And nobody said what is oil. So that's good. I'm just rinsing with many bottles of water, so it'll pass soon. Okay. Well, I hope it does. Just chill. Just sit and relax. Nothing to be anxious about here other than whether my stream goes well, and that's for me to be anxious about and not you. So just let me do all the anxiety and worrying today. You just chill one line. Okay, so Skid's car. So now we can do a little bit of teeny tiny research and show browser. Okay, video game car skidding. Let's have a look and see if we've got any videos of it happening in other games. Looks around for a place to sit. No seats around here. Gonna have to get that. If you have to, sit down on the floor, one line, crisscross applesauce, as they say here, just cross-legged. Unless the monitor is obviously high up on your standing desk and you won't be able to see it then. You might have to lower the desk, but just whatever's best for you, my friend. Maybe car skidding isn't the best option, is it? Maybe we want oil skidding, see what happens when it goes through oil. Best oil game ever? No. Vintage oil drilling game? No, I don't think this is going to be the right search term. Create joust from scratch, okay. Tried that once, that hurted my neck, even at its lowest. I'm just more comfy and productive standing. Alright, well, like I say, whatever works for you. I did toy with the idea of a standing desk. It's just that the desk I have right now is like an L-shaped desk, and it's in the corner of the room. And in the middle of the desk, I have my big main monitor, the curved monitor, and then I have two smaller flat monitors either side. So I just don't know they make a desk that raises up the same size, because all the ones I've seen have been fairly small. So I don't know if I could get something of this size. You know what would be a good idea? If they made an accessory almost like a jack for your car that you could put under the legs of your current desk, and that's what you operated to lift your desk up instead of having a desk itself. Maybe there's a niche in the market there. Maybe I need to get on that. Mine is to maybe that's something rather than replacing your whole desk, especially if you've got all your setup nice. I mean, you'd have to take everything off your desk, obviously, to put the bit of kit underneath to raise it, but maybe I'm onto something. Okay. No, I don't think putting oil in there that's giving us a bum steer. No pun intended. So let's have a look. 4 key moments in video. Intro, new shifter, Toro mode in Porsche. Had to be better at racing games. Oh, look, we have a link for One Line's desk. Oh, is this your desk, or is this one that you just found because I said about mine being L-shaped? $1,149. Yeah. That's a lot of moolah. 400 pounds lifting capacity. Unless I missed it in this video, I don't see him using the desk standing up. Okay, so there's the desk raising. Okay, so that's him using it standing up. Looks similar to my desk, same brand, L-shaped, have a PC and a power strip mounted to the bottom, only one power cable coming off of it. Yeah, that's the way to go. And that power cable that comes off of it, I would have to feed into my UPS. Yeah, I imagine you have to be very careful because at the moment, I guess you don't have those concerns with a fixed desk. You know, I'm sure you've seen bad cable management where cables seem to go everywhere, and you obviously need to make sure. I don't know, because you've got like the tower base. It's almost like I would want to attach the base, the PC itself, to the underside of the desk so it could raise and lower with it. Then you wouldn't have to worry about the length of your cables, would you? It's good to know they do them at least, even though I'm not about to throw $1,100 plus on a moving desk. Quite like that chair as well. Thanks for that link. Alrighty, so back to skidding in video. In this video, we'll be adding a more realistic friction model to the tires to allow for skidding. Okay, set up skid marks. Hey, I didn't say you could take a picture of my setup, okay? I think the good thing is, I mean, really, if your room is that well lit and you can see under the desk like that, then absolutely there's no reason for that. But, you know, I get a little bit of a reprieve given that underneath my desk is quite dark, so you can't, it's not that obvious. But, yeah, that's quite something. I'm guessing this is not your setup because you said, well, you said about one cable coming off of the desk. I guess arguably it could be this cable. I don't think this is your setup, is it? No, clearly it was posted on Discord. Yeah. I mean, maybe I need to have that and put it on my wall as an inspiration to sort mine out a bit more. Oh, it is yours. Not right now, but yeah. I mean, that's just an example of how many cables. I don't think a lot of people might not realize how many cables you have, but it's not just like, oh, one cable to the PC and then a cable from the PC to the monitor and your keyboard cable and then your mouse cable. And then when you're streaming, you've got your webcams, you've got your lights, you've got your USB hubs. There's like so many cables. Your microphone. I forgot about the Ethernet cable, so 2 cables coming off of it. Oh, you're hardwired Wi-Fi. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of wireless. I have a wired mouse. I have a wired keyboard. The only Wi-Fi or the only wireless thing I use really is my internet connection. And look, as we're chit-chatting like this, I get a notification that 1-1 Lion has gone live. So let's do an SO and get a clipperoonie.
What were we missing? We need the footer still. Oh.
Oh.
That should have gotten you like 180,000 points for being in the air for so long.
Because that was me.
And still hitting the target.
Yes, I shot that arrow.
That was
I created
awesome.
that clip. And I was playing the amazing archery game that 1-1 Lion has on his stream. So go watch him. I mean, if you have to close my tab to go watch him, then go watch him. He's an amazing streamer. Big Gamey is a pro at this game. No. No, I'm definitely not a pro. Sometimes I get lucky, but definitely not a pro at that game. But it is a fun game that One Line created from scratch. So get yourself over there. Use the bazillion points. I mean, the 1 point you have to use, the 1 channel point for the redemption. And have some fun. Okay. Speaking of getting anxious, this gives me a little bit of anxiety, this cable management system. So, yeah, close that out. So we don't really want skid marks. We just want to know the best way, well, either the best way to handle it when you hit the oil and or what the car should look like when it does. Because we can detect when it goes through the slick. And the answer was to make it skid. So what we could do is we could do something like disable player control. We could bring on brake lights at the back and we could put down some skid marks. And then we could re-enable player control after a little while. Maybe we'll try that. Show code. Okay. So let's call a separate method. We don't want to put it all in the on trigger. Really, that should just be for detection and calling other parts of code. So I think we use a coroutine because we want to disable player control for a few seconds and then enable it again. And in order to put in a delay, in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that is with a coroutine where we can delay it for a number of seconds. So we'll start coroutine. We'll call it okay, so call this coroutine. Skidding car, that'll do it. And then down here, gonna have private. We haven't got we haven't got the namespace at the top. So my enumerator called it skidding car. Okay, and need using system collections. Did that. And skidding car, it's going to say not all code paths return a value because you have to have a return. So what we said we would do is disable player input. Show brake lights. Wait, say 2 seconds for testing, and then enable player input again, the skid marks as well. So disable player input, show brake lights, add skid marks. And then stop skid marks. Okay, so now would be a good time for you to get over to One Line Stream and see what all the fun is about, because I need to go run that errand that I spoke about. So I will be BRB for probably 10, but no longer than 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I'll leave you on my BRB screen with the option to fish, and you can watch a retro video game, arcade video game, possibly with YouTube ads, because it's a direct link to a YouTube video. So my apologies if you get those, but I'll be right back, and then we can get this skidding car working, hopefully. Be right back.
Hey, does anybody want coffee? Hey, does anybody want coffee?
It's like your first visit to a taco truck. You're thinking, are these guys legit? What's in that? Do I even like tacos? So you start with un poquito, a taster. If you like this, we can mix things up. Go off menu, spicy as you like.
The all-new Copilot Plus PCs enable an array of AI capabilities to accelerate your productivity and creativity in a big way. They're the fastest, most intelligent Windows PCs yet, designed for both power and security. With the impressive power of Snapdragon X series processors, you're getting lightning-fast performance. These next-gen PCs can perform 45 trillion operations per second. That's trillion, with a T. This means unparalleled efficiency and responsiveness. Multitasking with several applications, intensive tasks, no problem. These PCs handle it effortlessly. And the battery life? With up to 22 hours of local video playback or up to 15 hours of web browsing on a single charge,
A duck walked
you can
up
stay
to a
mobile without
lemonade
constantly
stand, and he
hunting for
said to
more
the man
output. More
running the
productivity,
stand,
less downtime.
"Hey,
Okay,
bum,
let's
bum,
get into the
bum.
new AI
Got
features.
any grapes?"
This is awesome. One big difference, these PCs keep your AI data on the device versus operating in the cloud. This keeps you in control of your own data security and allows faster performance too. Check out Recall. This is an explorable timeline of your PC's past activities. Use it to find things you've previously looked at on your PC, a photo from last summer, a crucial project link, or an important message. Just describe what you remember, and Recall retrieves it for you. This can save you so much time from searching on your own, and you're always in control of what's saved as a snapshot. You can disable saving snapshots, pause temporarily, filter applications, and delete snapshots at any time. Next up, Co-Creator amplifies your creativity. When you need to draw something, a concept for a new design, custom artwork for a presentation, a social media post, or even a birthday card, just describe or draw your vision and Co-Creator turns it into reality. Let's say you envision a sleek, futuristic cityscape with vibrant visuals. By inputting text prompts or sketching your ideas, Co-Creator generates stunning graphics that match your description. You can refine your designs in real time, making it super easy to create quality visuals that impress. Now, Windows Studio Effects. Let's say you're about to join a virtual meeting, but the lighting in your room leaves something to be desired. And there's background noise. With Studio Effects on Copilot Plus PCs, these problems vanish. It automatically improves your lighting, helping you look well lit and professional, and cancels out background noise so your voice comes through crystal clear. This is a lifesaver for business meetings, online classes, or even virtual family gatherings, helping you present your best self without any extra equipment. Live captions boost communication by instantly turning speech from more than 40 languages into English subtitles. Picture this. You're attending a webinar, but the speaker is using a language you're not fluent in. This is invaluable for students on global projects, professionals at international conferences, and anyone who loves consuming content in different languages. The new Copilot Plus PCs are a big step forward in how we interact with our devices. Powered by Snapdragon X series processors, these PCs enhance workflows, boost creativity, and improve communication with advanced AI integration, making them the smartest and most powerful Windows PCs yet. If you'd like further recommendations, you can connect with an expert on BestBuy.com. Thanks for taking time to learn more about Copilot Plus PCs.
Mobile.
Add mobile. I am not familiar with that game. That's a new one for me. So hopefully you all went and watched one line while I was running my errand. And now we can get back to skidding cars. Okay, so I'm going to have this red line on the code here until we do a return. So we're going to have a yield, return, you wait for seconds. We can put this in. So we're going to wait for 2 seconds. Code under each comment will help us to know that we've added all the required steps. Disable player input. So this is the player controller, but I feel like there's another script on the player that handles the controlling of the vehicle. Let's have a look. Show Unity. Okay, so here's the player and here are the scripts. So we've got vehicle controller, that sounds like, and we've also got vehicle standard input. Vehicle controller script, it's all things about the vehicle. Let's see which one actually controls the player, or actually determines whether you can use the keys or not. Let's disable the standard input to start with and hit play. Okay, so let's just do this. Speedo, but doesn't let us go anywhere. So that's the one we need to disable. Vehicle standard input script. Yeah, public. It's on same as player controller, right? Yeah, so vehicle standard input script. What I should be able to do is get component. Why is it not pulling it in? Interesting. It's on the car. This. Target vehicle standard input script. Vehicle standard input's there, so why is it not letting us detect it? Vehicle standard input, let's have a look. Okay, it's in its own namespace, EVP. Probably why. So up here, we start using EVP. That should give us access to it. Now we should be able to say vehicle standard input. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to do vehicle standard input dot enabled false. Disable it. And then to enable it again upwards. So it's through down here. Oh, show code. Okay, so we're getting the component from the object that player controller is attached to, which is the player. We're grabbing the vehicle standard input component, which is the script, and we're setting the enabled value of it to false. So effectively we're disabling it. So disable player input. Brake lights we need to add, skid marks we need to add, and it waits 2 seconds and then enables them again. So what we can do is save that, show Unity. And we should be able to test this now. If I hit play, and then I should be able to go left and right, but then when we hit the oil slick, we should see here the vehicle standard input script. That check should disappear for 2 seconds. It should stop me from being able to move the vehicle, and then after 2 seconds it should enable it again. So let's give it a try. Brum, brum, brum. So we start off, we can go left and right with the wheels. We hit the slick, and the standard input script was disabled, and I couldn't steer, and then it came back on again. If you watch over here, the vehicle standard input script here, that check disappears and then comes back again. So I can go left and right, we hit the slick, disables, can't go left and right. Again. Good. All right. So we're disabling it. Now, as far as brake lights go, I don't see a lot of potential for brake lights. There are actually, I think there are no lights on the back of this. So what's this down here? Okay, so we're going to say that that is brake lights, which we can just about see it on the player. So my plan is to create an emissive material, so a material that responds to light, that we can enable and disable when we go over the slick, which we can also use to, when we're braking the car controls, when we go around corners and things, the player actually slows down. Which also means we need to make the player have the ability to go fast enough that they'll need to slow down on things like bends. Possibly, potentially. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a 3D object, which will be a quad. I think a quad is going to be more performant than a plane. Let's check that out. Show browser. Place plane more performant. Plane or quad. The above picture on the left camera shows two small parts of the quad. All of that is rendered. Blah, 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 blah. Are we talking about planes? I can only see bigger quads and smaller quads. Wherever your picture does not look like occlusion culling, rather frustum culling, blah, 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 blah. Unity's built-in frustum and occlusion culling features work on a per render level, so blah, blah, blah. Full mesh prepares with GPU as opposed to the plane. Unlikely to give any noticeable performance impact unless you're rendering very many of them. Nope, we're going to have 6. Okay, so I'm just going to... I usually work with planes, but I thought I'd try quads. So let's see how we get on. Show Unity. All right, here's the quad. And we're going to have 6 of these. The alternative would be to just have one quad that we put a texture onto, and the texture would be a PNG file with the 6 different squares of the brake lights. Then you'd be able to see through it and make a transparent PNG, but that's a whole thing. I think this is going to be a quicker option. That's going to be a lot of messing around, and then if we decide to change it, it's more difficult to edit. So let's call it brake light 1. Okay, so we need to child this to the car so that it moves around the track in the car does. So see if it will let us add an empty bright lights as a group. So we can enable and disable them in one go. Bright light into bright lights. So now we're going to scale it, position it, and then create another 5. So we have 6 in total to match these 6 red lights here. And then once we have that done, we can create an emissive material that we apply to all 6 quads. And then we should be able to enable and disable the bright lights just by toggling this parent group instead of having to worry about 6 separate objects. Okay, so let's change this scale. Let's say 0.05. Actually, thinking about it, let's have a look at the object itself. Is it part of the race car body? Yep. So let's have a look down here and see if it is separated out. I don't think it would be. No. Steering wheel. 3 other objects. Nothing specifically for the brake light. Nano Dev with the drop. Let's have a look. See if the funky monkey dog is going to. Oof. So close. Did hit my follower goal though. I think it knocked up my followers. Wow, that'd be something, wouldn't it? All you need to do to get more followers is just bash your parachuting dog against the goal bar. Okay. You tried, Nano Dev, and that's the main thing. You got an A for effort. Okay, so the lights of the model are not separated out, which is a bit annoying, but not insurmountable. So we'll continue with our adding our own. I can't have it going back here because then we would lose the ability to see it. So it's going to have to be just in front. So I've got 55, 1, 52. Well, let's just say 55. That should hide any. Yep, hides the dot. The question is now, is it the right size? It looks like it's a little bit too big. So let's move it further back to start with until we scale it correctly. There we go. That means we can move it up here. Nope, that's not going to help. Okay. So we're going to position this best we can by eyeballing it. And then change this scale. Ooh. Try again. 4.38. So 0.38 and why we need to change be 0.4, 5, 4. Okay. So then the position on the X. Two, 9, 5. Okay, so that's hidden. Okay, so it's the right scale. And then we can bring it back out. So quickly covers up the dot. I think we said 55 on here. Okay, so we now got that in the right position. We know it's the right scale. So now what I'm going to do first is I'm going to test the emissive material. Because if for some reason an emissive material doesn't work well on a quad and it needs a plane, then I'm just going to be wasting time doing the other 5. So back to BG materials. Create a new material. And we're going to call this one bright light red. So we'll make it the brightest red we can find. And then we want emission, because we want it to light up. And the emission color is going to be, let's put it on the bright light to start with. And then we can see it. Okay, so emission, we've got the color. Don't need tiling, don't need offset, real time, GI, that's fine. Well, we could have baked, might be more performant. Okay, blah blah blah, reflections, shader, GPU instancing. Okay. Go with the bright red. Let's check out the smoothness. Not really going to make any difference. Metallic alpha or albedo alpha. Doesn't seem to make much difference either. Okay, that should work. So now if we go to the brake lights group and we disable it, no brake lights, comes on when we brake. Okay, that works. So now what we need to do is we need another 5 of these because there's 6 lights in total. So we can Control D to duplicate. Hopefully Unity with its numbering system should number them correctly for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Tamat Salat, good evening to you, my friend. How are you doing? How's your day going today? We're busy just trying to simulate fake brake lights on the racing car when we go through the oil slick. We just created an emissive material, scaled it correctly to block out the existing lights on the model, and now we duplicated another 5 so that we have 6 altogether. So now we just need to position them. So 1 goes there, 2 I'm going to bring over here, then also need to remember where it was on the Z axis because we need to make sure we got it in the right position. Okay, hang on. 0.029. I think that works because I think the other one was minus 295. So if we make this a 5 here. All right, that should work. Exhausted. This week was meeting marathon, but besides that, good. How are you? Our meetings are horrible. Thankfully, the job that I'm in now, I don't have meetings, which is amazing. I don't get a lot of the rat race corporate BS that you get, so I'm happy about that. And yeah, today I'm doing okay. We had a little audio technical issue when we started, but quickly got that resolved. And so, yeah, just been working on the game. So what we're working on at the moment is going through an oil slick. So when we go through the oil slick, we have steps that we need to process. Show code. So we need to disable the player input, which we've done. Show brake lights, which we're working on now. Add skid marks, wait 2 seconds, which we have, and then enable player input again and stop the skid marks. So we're just working on the show brake lights portion of the code at the moment. And while we're in the code, why don't we just start setting it up So we have a public reference to a game object. It's going to be bright lights, and then should be a simple case down in the code of show bright lights, set active through, and then the opposite to actually enable bright lights. We didn't disable the bright lights afterwards, so we wait 2 seconds, enable the bright lights. Nope, disable the bright lights. So this then is going to be false. Okay, enable bright lights true, disable false. Okay, so then if we save this and show Unity on the player object, should have a new slot, bright lights, there we go. And so we should just be able to drag the bright lights group we created into the slot. And now when we go through, it's going to be disabled to start with, but when we go through the oil slick, it should turn on the bright lights for 2 seconds and turn them off again. So we have 6 bright lights. We've got 1, 2, and we said it's going to be this value here for the Z. In fact, let's make that the Z value for all of them. Okay, so now we just need to change the positions. So we've got 1, 2, 3. I'm going to be down here, but we're going to need the right height. So again, we're going to have to back up to where we can see it. That's pretty much it. And then change the copy this Z value back to here. Enable that. Okay. So now it should make it easier for positioning the others. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be roughly over here, but we're going to have the X value of 2, X position. And we want the Y value of 3. Okay, so that's in position. Now we need bright light 5. Just going to come down here. And we're going to have to determine first what the Y value is. In theory, we should be able to take the distance between this one, and then duplicate it to get this one. But let's just eyeball it first, see how we get on. Looks pretty central. Okay, so then we just need to copy the Z value. Okay, that brings it out, and then we should need the same X value as this one, which it is. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just the 6th one left. So what we need at this point is the Y value of the 5th one. Copy that. And then we need the X value of the 4th one. All right, so now we have 6 lights in place with the emissive material. We can see in the player window down here, we can see them all lit up. And then if we toggle this group here, off, on. All right, so we have the brake lights in place. We have the script updated and has a reference to the brake lights. And so now we can disable the brake lights initially and then hit play. And then when we drive through this slick, we should see the brake lights come on for 2 seconds and then turn off. So brake lights off, on, off. Good. Okay, so we now have working brake lights. Okay, so back to the code. Show code. Show code. So we've disabled the player input, check. Enabled the brake lights, check. Waited 2 seconds, check. Disabled the brake lights, check. And enabled the player input, check. So all we're left with now is skid marks. Okay, so now we need to determine the best way to add skid marks. There's a number of different ways of handling this. From laying down decals to adding sprites to projections. So I think what we need to do is we'll do a little bit of research on this, because I want, each time I do something, if I'm not 100% sure how to do it, or if I'm doing it the best way, then I don't think it hurts to do a little bit of research and find out how things get done. So video game car, let's just do Unity skid marks. Skid marks and skid sound. See, trial render, that's another way of doing it.
It's shocking how some electricity providers treat you, with surprises on your bill, promotion.
Hello and welcome. If you're building
Show
a
browser.
racing game and you want tires to leave marks when you drift, you're gonna have to use a trail renderer. So here is an example of.
So this video is 4 years ago, but we're just looking for the theory rather than specifics. So it doesn't matter that Unity has had numerous updates since then. We'll just see how he does it in Unity. And we can probably just simulate the same. I mean, if it's a trail renderer, that's a component that you add to an object that can be enabled and disabled. So I'm guessing that's how he's doing it. So let's find out.
Of how it's going to work. To do this, you're gonna need a separate script, but since I have a car effect script, I'm just gonna use this one instead. So open that up, and in here you're gonna need 3 functions. One function is going to check constantly if we're drifting or not, and the other 2 are going to be flag functions, which are going to start emitting and stop emitting the skid marks.
Quality of this video says it's 1080p, but that's not looking 1080p to me. That's better. Okay. So this is what's a 5-minute video, because he's speeding things up. Alright, let's see what he does in the code first.
A little
we'll see what he does in the engine.
for this is that in here we're checking for drifting, and the checking is done with the input manager.handbrake. The handbrake is activated when we press the space key. If it is, start emitting. If it's not, stop the emitting. The flags are used to start the emitter just once instead of starting it every single frame. And then to start it, we're using a for each statement. And we're obviously using tire marks.
Okay, so we can do something similar to that. We're not going to, at the moment, we just want a toggle to say if the car is skidding or not, that we can enable when we go through the oil. Later on, we'll decide if we're going to use skid marks for other things like detecting speed around a bend. And now, show code. We can just have a private boolean and call it is skidding. So then down in the code, add skid marks, we're going to want to say is skidding is true. And then when we stop the skid mark, we're going to say is skidding is false. So all that'll do is toggle a value on to determine whether we're skidding or not. And then in the main update method, we'll do something if is skidding is enabled. So we can just use update and choose fixed update for this. And say if is skidding, then do the code in here, which is where it will put down the skid marks. All right, I'm just going to grab another coffee and I will be right back. I shall be a couple of minutes. Okay, so hands up who knew there was a Michael Jackson Moonwalker game. Not I, said the fly. Okay. So let's do a and shout out for the stream scribe who's in the top window there. He does some amazing word art. Looks like he's got some amazing food at the moment. Nothing to do with word art unless that's research. That's the best kind of research, eating food. So let's give him a shout out. The stream scribe. Make sure we spell it correctly. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so his name's Carlo. He does some great art pieces. So if that floats your boat, then definitely drop him a follow, see what's going on there. Okay, so what were we doing? Skid marks, weren't we? So we added a boolean, so a value that's true or false to determine if we're skidding or not. So the first step is to set that when we are skidding and stop it when we're not. So also what we're going to need at some point will be a skidding sound, but I'm more interested in the skid marks themselves, the visual element to start with. Show browser.
Which is a trail renderer game object. In your inspector, you should have a tire marks empty slot. In here, just pass in the amount of elements you want, and you choose 4 game objects that are most cases empty.
Okay, so he's setting slots for each wheel individually, which kind of makes sense because if you're going in a straight line, you want the skid marks to come out from where the tires are, or if you're at an angle, then obviously the location of the tires in relation to each other will be slightly different. Okay.
Since I'm using a smoke system that is already placed in the bottom of each wheel, I can use that as an anchor point for the trail renderer. Add in a new component, trail renderer. Inside here, we have to uncheck the emitting and uncheck the lightning. After you've done that, drag and drop your game objects into the array that we just made. Now, if we play our...
Okay, so what we need is an array so we can drop the wheels in for the positions. So let's have a look at his code again and see when he created the array, if there were game objects or transforms or what he actually did. Oh, light mode. Okay.
Which is a...
Okay. So tire mark is actually trail renderer array. Okay. Show code. Trail renderer array, and he called it tire marks. So we'll just keep the same for now. Okay.
Trail renderer game object. In your inspector, you should have a tire marks empty slot. In here, just pass in the amount of elements you want, and you
show Unity. Okay, so when I play a car, play a controller script, we now have a tire marks array. We're going to have 4 elements for the 4 tires. Okay. Show browser.
Choose 4 game objects that are most cases empty. Since I'm using a smoke system that is already placed in the bottom of each wheel, I can use that as an anchor point.
Okay, so as the placeholders, he already has objects with particle systems on. Okay, so we need to create 4 objects at the wheels unless we can use the wheels themselves. Let's have a look. So the problem with using the wheels themselves is their anchor point is in the center of the wheel. That's no good. We need the point to be underneath the wheel so it can put the skid mark down there. So let's go ahead and create empty, and we will call this maybe not just skid mark, because if we do use smoke, then we can also put that in here too. What about wheel effects? Let's call it that for now. Okay, so at this point we're going to need to put 4 objects down where the road is. So let's use spheres. So this is going to be front left wheel. What we can do is we take the position, we copy the world position. Actually, not the world position. Do we want the local position? Copy position. Okay, and then if we paste it onto front left wheel, paste position. Okay, so that's exactly where the wheel is, and we can scale it down uniformly. Okay, and we need it to be at the bottom of the wheel. So probably about there. About 0. Yep, 0 on the Y. Okay. Now we can scale it down some more. So 0.25. Okay, so that gives us our placeholder position, and then we want to turn off the mesh renderer because we don't want to see it in the scene. We also don't need a sphere collider because we're not detecting any physics with it. So that should be good. Okay, so that's the front left wheel. We need obviously 3 more wheels to make up the 4. So we'll just duplicate it. And then we'll have front right wheel, rear left wheel, and rear right wheel. Okay, so we need to do the same thing again. So the front right wheel, I'm going to copy the position, copy position, and then front right wheel, going to paste position. Okay, so that shows us it's the front right wheel. We can do some tweaking of this later because it looks like it's just on the inside of the tyre there rather than in the centre. But yeah, we can check that out once we get it, once we get the skid marks working. Okay, so it's front left, front right. Now we need to do rear left. Oh, that's suspension. Wheel, rear left. Copy. Position. Rear left. Paste. Position. Reset the Y to 0. And then last but not least, rear right. Copy. Position. Paste position. 0 out of the Y. Just make sure the Y is 0 on all 4 wheels. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now we have placeholders. So if we go back to the script where we have the 4 slots, I think we should be able to drag these in. No, because we don't have trail renderers yet. Okay. So show browser.
For the trail renderer, add in a new component, trail renderer. Inside,
Okay, so we need to add trail renderers to the objects now so that we can drag them into the slots. So we'll do one wheel at a time because it's not going to be all the default settings. Although, yeah, they're all going to be the same settings, so we'll do all four at the same time. So we take all four objects in wheel effects, add component, going to add a trail renderer. We go back to the script, should now be able to lock this and drag these into here. So front left, front right, rear left, rear right. Okay. Now if we go back, unlock this, go back to the objects, and the trail renderer is what we're working with. Let's see what happens next. Show browser. Oh, we're already in it. Okay.
Here we have to uncheck the emitting and uncheck the lighting.
So emitting off, lighting off. Show Unity. So emitting off, lighting, I guess cast shadows off. Show browser. Maybe. Show browser. What are you trying to do to me? Voice commands. Show browser. Okay.
After you've done that, drag and drop your game objects into the array that we just made.
Yep.
Now, if we play our game, here is what we get. Now, the reason it's like pink like this is because it doesn't.
Okay. So show code. So car is skidding. In car is skidding, we need to set the trail renderer, or all the trail renderers, to be emitting. So let's go back and see what he used for that. So 237, about halfway through the video.
Render game object. In your inspect tire.
Thank you, Belinda, for that follow reminder. Okay, so here's the start emitter.
Marks.
Okay, so we'll go back to 237 where we were, and then shoe fly, and then we just need to add the code to enable the emitters, or the emit option on the trail renderers. So is skidding. So let's have something called actually we can't have a separate method because we can't have a separate method to toggle it, but we can to start it. Okay. Private void start skidding. Okay, and then in here is skidding is true. We'll just call this method instead of setting it here. So we'll start skidding and stop skidding. Start skidding is skidding is true, and then we need to use it for each. Need to say for each trail renderer T in, what do we call our array? Tire marks. And what do we want to do? We want to say each one set emitting to be true. Copy this method. Do the opposite, which is stop skidding. And we're going to say is skidding is false. This time we're going to set the emitters to false. Okay, save that. So let's see if that actually enables the trail renderers. Show Unity. So in theory, we should see the same as he saw in the video. When we go through the oil slick, we should then see the pink trail renderer show up. So no trail renderer, no trail renderer. There it is, enabled. Okay, so if we look at the car now, should be 4 trail renderers there. They're not going to be easy to identify unless we disable them individually because of the car just going in a straight line. So we come down here, these are the wheel effects. If we disable all wheel effects, we should see all the pink disappear. Okay, and then disable that one, you can see part of the pink has disappeared, which will be part of the skid marks. So front left is working, front right is working, rear left is working, and rear right is working. And the way trail renderers work is they stay active for a very short period of time and then slowly disappear. So if we don't move anymore, if we just keep the car where it is, you should see that pink vanish. Okay, so let's disable them there, and then look, there we go. It will disappear slowly. Okay, so that's working. The only thing we need to do now is we need some kind of texture, which is the graphic that the skid mark will leave behind. So it's not just pink texture. So let's see what he does next in the video. Show browser.
Material. So in your particles, choosing a black material or whatever you want to maybe use.
Okay, so in the materials element 0 slot is putting in a material, so not really a texture. So I guess it's just going to look like it's black lines, but let's have a look.
And also make the width much smaller.
So pretty small on the width. Let's have a look what difference that makes. Okay, so now when he goes around the corner, we have the black material instead of the pink, and you have these lines here, and he's made them more narrow to align with the size of the wheels. So we might need to, given that the front wheels and the rear wheels on this vehicle are the same, he can have the same trail renderer width. We have more narrow wheels on the front of an F1 racing car, so we might need to play with that for a little bit. So let me first put the black material into the trail renderers, and then we'll have a look at the width. As you can see, built into the track already, there are some pre-existing skid marks. It's part of the track effect. Alright, so take all of these and look at the trail renderer, and in the materials, element 0, we have none at the moment, which is why it showed pink, because it had no material. And we will drag in the black that we created, the oil, well, even though we eventually went with blue, because Arduino. Okay, and if we look at the vehicle, front wheels, say, are more narrow. Back wheels are quite fat, got 3 stripes. The front have 3 stripes as well, but not quite so wide. Although on this particular vehicle in particular, they don't look that different, do they? Definitely different in physical width and diameter. As far as the width of the tyre. Okay. What we can do is look at the trail renderers, front left, right left. Oh, front left, front right. Let's try that again. Okay, and then the width we're going to drag down, possibly down to, let's say, here, and then the rear 2 we'll have there. Let's see how that works. Well, I'm not going around a corner. Maybe we need to try and come at this spill from a different angle. I don't know. I haven't actually got drifting in it, so we just drive through it. And then have a look. Okay, so what we are seeing is the trail renderers, which I've seen this before. They look to not be rotated correctly, but look, it's with a view to the camera. So if you look at it from over here, it looks sideways. It's like when you look at it, one of those paintings with eyes, and it looks like the eyes are following you. So the trail renderers point to wherever the camera is in the scene view. However, we do see the skid marks working. And if we position the camera slightly differently, so that we can see further back, that'll give us a better view in the game window of the tyres, or the skid marks. Okay, so we bring this camera back somewhat to here. I have to make sure we don't get those tyres in again. So if we take all of these tyres, bring them further back so they're out of view. Now we can see behind the car, although camera work's going to be another stream altogether when we start using Cine Machine. So we hit play now, we should at least see the skid marks in the game window. When we go through the oil slick. Okay, so we can see now over here. We did leave the tire marks. So we might need... We might need to do this slightly differently, because what it's doing, as soon as the car is hitting the oil spill, the skid marks start coming out the back. So really, we don't want the skid marks to start
Welcome, friends.
on each
I've been expecting
axle.
you.
Layla codes it with the raid. How are you doing, Layla? Good to see you. Thanks for bringing all your peeps over to my little corner of Twitch. How did your stream go today? Great to see you. Let's get a SO going. Ryan, how are you? How the devil are you?
I think I need to re-record a version of that
Thank you, Belinda.
Everything is Awesome song to be Everything is Broken in a spectacular way. It is looking good. We're going to have
For those that haven't seen the Lego Movie, you're really missing out because, you know, the soundtrack alone, the Everything is Awesome song, that would be funny if that was repurposed. Well, wow, glad to hear it. What did you get up to? Any fun stuff? Do you have any links or anything you want to share with the people here? Legend indeed, Berlin. Thank you for doing that shout out, getting that little clipperoonie. Working with the NPC AI. Oh, I love me some AI stuff. Good fun thing is about NPCs when using AI is you can pretty much let it decide what it wants to do. You can set certain rules and then it can just go off and do things, and it's the unpredictability of NPCs that I love. Goping all the things. That's right. Yes. We had a chat about Gope, didn't we, last time? You said that you started Gope thanks to Penny's course. Penny, of course, of Holistic 3D, who I work alongside. Normally I have my living room here, a background, but for reasons it's not enabled for this one stream. So just a heads up to those not familiar with the stream. What I'm working on today, I'm Lee, aka Big Gamey. I'm working on a game called Can You Beat You, where you race around. Level 1 will be a racetrack, for example. The system records your first lap, and then when you record the second lap, a ghost car appears and drives your exact lap that you did the first time. So any mistakes you make, any hairpin bends that you take, the ghost car will do exactly the same lap for your second lap, and then you have to try and beat it. So you're pretty much racing against yourself. So what we've been working on today is an oil spill or an oil slick, which is the blue patch that you can see. Obviously oil is not blue, it's just for testing. And we've been trying to get the skid marks working, which you can see a little bit there. Well, you can't see because I'm not showing Unity, but show Unity. So yeah, we've got the blue patch of oil there and we have the skid marks, but we just decided that, hang on, why are you skidding before you've even reached the
You like what you see, huh?
Slick.
You got the good taste.
So Tyndall is in the house. Hello, Tyndall. I see you're a fan of Layla Codes It, same as I am. Thank you very much for that. Oh, there he is. Handsome devil that is Tyndall. Sometimes Tyndall actually posts pictures of those books on his bookshelf, and you get to see the inner depths of his literate mind.
And then want to do more basket bros.
Such a handsome freeze frame. How am I, baby? Okay, so the reason that Tyndall calls me baby is because one of my redemptions is Bitly the Kid, where I turn into a baby and I have to try and get caught. But I think we've only used it once, maybe twice this stream. So yeah, I've been successful in not having to sound like a toddler. So there it is. But thanks again for that resub, Tyndall. 5 months, man. And I don't know what you said there that you tagged Valint in with that message, but let me have a look, see if. Oh, okay, because I'm in OBS and not in chat. My Google extension for translating doesn't work. However, keep forgetting I do have a translate command. So let's see. Thanks to Science Streams for my subscription gift. Translated from Swedish. There we go. See?
Wanted,
There it
Bitly
is.
the Kid. $100,000 reward for his capture.
You did it. Tyndall. You turned me into a baby. Thank you. Possibly, potentially. Let's straighten up the moose. There we go. Okay, so in a couple of minutes, we'll find out if Tyndall was successful. I'm sorry, Layla. I don't mean to be creepy. I'm just trying to be a baby. I didn't mean to upset anybody or scare you. So, yeah. What about if I take my reading glasses off? Is that better? There we go. Now, the screen is very...
Once upon a time, a creepy baby welcomed the Raiders with sinister giggles. The Raiders promptly reconsidered their life choices. The end.
Thank you for that short story. I can just about see through the blurriness. Yeah, it's you that did it. And I'm terribly sorry, Layla, for disturbing you. I didn't mean it to be disturbing. It's just supposed to be a little bit of fun. That laugh is a keyword trigger from anybody typing laugh in chat. It's not supposed to be used in collaboration with this creepy redemption. So now you have me thinking my stream choices. Maybe I have to rethink this and not be a baby anymore. Okay. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Bitly the Kid escaped. No reward for you this time.
You didn't catch me, Tyndall. You gave it your best shot, and in the process, creeped everybody out. But thanks for that. Thank you. Yeah. Creepy baby, welcome the Raiders. Thank you, Berlin. You're always so supportive. That's one of the reasons that I wanted you to be a mod, because you know you're always behind my every decision, like the Kotaku news stories and just everything on stream. So thank you, Belint. I am truly blessed. Okay, so thanks again for the raid, Layla, and I'm sorry one of the first things we did was to creep you out, but blame Tyndall. He did the redemption. I was quite happily explaining things on stream and how the game works, and then he just came in, did his resub. I mean, you know, I can neither confirm nor deny Layla's last comment, because that might get me in trouble, especially since Tyndall just resubbed. But I do enjoy watching Tyndall streams too, so, you know, definitely drop him a follow and see what chaos you can create over there. Tyndall has like a really big enter key that he has hooked up to his system, and you can use a redemption on his stream so that he has to use that. Like give it a big old punch. This humongous enter key. So yeah, there's that. Alrighty, so what did we get up to today? So we tried creating a temporary oil spill. we added some placeholder objects to the car for the skid marks. We added trail renderers to each wheel to make sure that we get the skid marks appearing in the right place. It just needs a little tweaking so that the skid marks don't actually start until the wheels reach the oil slick. So what we're doing at the moment, we're using a big box collider on the car to say, okay, when you hit anything, enable the skid marks for all 4 wheels, which, as we saw, doesn't work because it starts making the back wheels drop skid marks before they've even reached the oil. So what we're going to have to do is a little bit of tweaking where we say, okay, let's use different colliders and say that when those colliders, maybe of the wheels, hit the oil slick, then start turning on skid marks. But I think that's a bit of tweaking for another day, and will probably come in the polish phase. What we also did today was we added brake lights. So let's go shrink this down, props, player, go back. So this model that we're using did actually have these what look like brake lights on the back. However, these are not separate objects in the model, so we couldn't illuminate them and turn off the lights and use them for brake lights effectively. So what we had to do was I added this group called brake lights, and then we created 6 quads to replicate these 6 lights on the object. Created an emissive material so we could illuminate it. Right, I'm off to feed the doggies and myself, and Silicon Orchid, have a great stream. Thank you, Layla. Once again, thank you for the raid. Really appreciate you bringing some new people into the fold, especially that might be interested in game dev. And yeah, enjoy your doggies. I have 3 doggies myself, which I've immortalized in emote form. So we're going to use one for the drop game, and then I'll put the others in chat. So we'll start off with the kitty. That's Cheeto, the drop game. And then I have 3 doggos, who in turn are Pixie, Igni, and Milo. There you go. There's my doggos. Okay. So yeah, we had to create 6 quads and add an emissive material, and now we put them in this parent object. And so now when we enable and disable brake lights, ting, we light up the quads. So now when we look in the player window down here, it does look like the player is braking, because we wanted a way that when the player actually brakes in the game, there was something visual. And also when the player goes through an oil slick, we wanted brake lights to come on, as well as the skid marks. So we did all that today. It's been quite productive. Last time we got the mini-map working, and we got the lights illuminated. We have placeholder sounds for when the game starts. So this is what we have. So no engine sounds yet, but as soon as we hit the oil slick, see, it turns on all of the skid marks for each tyre, because we control them independently for each of the tyres. So as soon as the front wheels hit here, the back wheel skid marks came on, and that's why we see skid marks before we actually get to the oil. So that needs to go on the fix list, like I say, for the polish phase when we do it at the end. We should see up here, yeah, so as we trailed off, the skid marks stopped. We have them turned on for 2 seconds along with the brake lights, and then disabled again. So yeah, that's where we got to for today. Been running just over 3 hours, so I do like to run for a bit longer after we get a raid in, but I do have also a bunch of errands I need to run, so hopefully if you like what you see and you do want to come back next time when there won't be a black background, there'll be my living room behind me, and you can choose another hat that I can wear instead of Mr. Moose, thanks to the redemption. Then just go ahead, drop me a follow. All follows are appreciated in getting me to my follower goal. We're at 742 currently, so we're getting there slowly. Alrighty, so let's have a look. Let's head on over to the stream ending scene here. And that's my usual schedule. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 AM Central Time. I will be back on Monday. There's my socials. Let me just have a quick look, see which friendo we can go across to today, see who's streaming. Big thanks as always to Valent, Science Streams, the tease that is Ducasoft, and Irish John Games. There's your copyright pasta. Canu betu. Yes, Valent, Canu betu. Thank you, Yoga. Appreciate you again for stopping by. Hope your work is over shortly. Let's have a look, see who's on, see who we're going to go over to today. All right, we've got Canny Dev, we've got One Lion, lots of the friendos on. Let's see.
You are a pirate.
You are a pirate indeed. 2.5 hours to go. Yeah, boy. Let's get that ending shift bell. Okay, so we can either go across and raid One Lion, who was in here earlier, or we can go across and raid Canny Dev. They're both doing software and game development. So I think we'll go over and see One Lion today. Let's do that. My fave lion, as I like to call him. Do a raid to One Lion. Should see a little stream window pop up in the corner. There he is. One Blade Intima. Okay, well there's his ads on his stream anyway. And hopefully the ads will be finished by the time we get over there. Not Canu Betu raid, no. No, if you did want the text to paste in when we get
Get
to
hyped for round 1 Lion.
Which one would be most
there we go.
reaching that everyone would just
Get hyped for round 1 Lion.
to make customizations?
What?
Or if they do, they're small customizations.
What is going on right now? Okay, so thanks everybody that stopped by today. I appreciate the raid that we got from Layla Codes It. If you haven't already dropped a follow, go and do that. It's always a fun time over there. And we're going to head on over to see what One Lion is doing today. Don't forget he has that amazing archery game, Canu Betu, that you can redeem for just one single channel point. So you don't really have to be there long at all if you're a new viewer. Where you can play his archery game. He has an amazing mod called Ducasoft. Oh, look, there's Ducasoft. So I'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend. I will see you then.